It is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Show Me the Money Club live
There
Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. You can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Rumble. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Sergio, what's going on?
Great, buddy. Kicking ass, taking names.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Well, we got a lot of ass kicking to do, I think, today with some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. So we have we got a few things. Let me do the rundown. We have Rebecca Locke, who is the CEO of Kidcaboo. She's in the back. She'll be on in just a couple of minutes after the rundown. She's going to be talking about that. And then when she's done, we're going to be talking about a couple of different topics. So we're going to be talking about Lyft now adjusting fares on longer trips. Are they listening? And then another thing we're going to be talking about is Uber stealing tips? They're adjusting fares down after tips on Uber X?
That's going to hit a note.
on food delivery on X. So we're going to be breaking that down. That's pretty much the title of today's show. Then we're going to be talking about Lyft Surge and bonus algorithmic wage discrimination at LAX. What's happening in your airport queue as well, maybe. We're going to be talking about no more surge in some cities. Well, there's surge, you just don't know what it is. So these companies are saying more transparent. I think that's an absolute lack of transparency. So we're going to be talking about that. There's a new California Dashcam Law. How is this going to affect rideshare drivers? We're going to mention that. And then we're going to be talking about another crazy unjust deactivation story. So get ready for that one, because that's pretty crazy. And then, of course, we're going to end the show on some funnies and some things going on there. So first, we would like to thank today's sponsor. That is Giggle, and it's, are you an independent contractor or gig worker seeking fast and hassle-free financing? Look no further than Giggle. We understand that time is money, and that's why we've revolutionized the way you access funds. Picture this, $5,000 in your hand as quick as 5 minutes. Yes, you heard that right, 5 minutes by simply connecting your bank account. Giggle is here to make sure you can focus on what you do best while we take care of your financial needs. Giggle is the fastest way to secure your financial future. For your special offer, visit gigglefinance.com/rideshare guide to apply.
Yes, sir. I'm going to use it.
Awesome. All right. Well, let us bring on Rebecca. Rebecca, hello.
Guys, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So apparently Chrome is the way to go here, and I am behind the times. My 10-year-old.
Oh, no worries.
I was like, oh, no. This is like wrong. How are you guys?
We're good.
Good. How you doing?
How are you? I know you're sick. You were sick, or you're sick.
Yes. And thank you so much for having me regardless. I apologize for that. But yeah.
No worries.
Thank
so
you. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're good.
We're doing our song and dance every Tuesday, Rebecca.
Yeah, I'm like your biggest fan.
Oh,
thanks.
You know that, yeah.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Like I love the snow pizza thing. Yeah.
Now that you're on.
Thanks.
You're welcome, Chris.
now that you're on, let's get right into it. I mean, now we are here to inform and educate our community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is an adult. They can do whatever they choose to do. However, we always suggest that you have to have as many tools as a gig worker in your toolbox to be able to be more efficient, maximize your earnings, your utilization factor will be better, whatever not, right? So I feel like Kidcaboo is another tool, or potentially could be another tool in the toolbox. Now, with that said, please introduce yourself. Please tell us about Kidcaboo, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate that. And I think Harry's always pointed out what you just did. I was in Los Angeles and fell into television production, reality TV, documentary producing, moved up quickly and spent about 15 years there in New York and DC. And at that time, we were in the freelance industry as well, right? Like gig economy, not getting bonuses. And it was sort of like, well, you're getting paid really well, so suck it up, right? And I think this is related to some of the strikes that have happened recently. And this has sort of made this whole thing for me very personal. I did not intend to become an entrepreneur. I had this need that I encountered when I tried to go back to work after being at home with my kids, and and I couldn't find someone to drive my kid, and that's ridiculous. Like, you're willing to pay $30 for like a 5-minute, 10-minute drive, 2 miles. Like, nobody will do it. What on earth is going on here, right? And I think I had to do 800 drives, sort of like figure out what on earth was going on, like what was happening, right? Like, why was this a real problem? It sort of seems surreal, but I felt very much so inclined to look into this and to make it. And I think at the end of the day, what I learned was drivers were not being taken care of well enough, okay, to do these things. Well, $30 for 15 minutes should be worth it to someone, except if they're not being compensated for the time that they have to wake up, get dressed, drive there, drive home, and that became, I think, the cornerstone of Kidcaboo. Yeah.
Okay. So was this like an aha moment of yours, or like because a lot of entrepreneurs, when they get into this business, the gig world, right, with an app, because app is the easy part, but they have to have the concept first, obviously.
Right.
With a lot of entrepreneurs I talk to, they go, "This was an aha moment." It's like just like Uber was, literally, right?
Yeah.
Uber was an aha moment. They got stuck in Christmas in a snowstorm in France, and they go, "Aha, wait a minute."
Right.
So if it was, great, but so Kidcaboo is a kids service. Like, is there an age limit, age group? Tell us a little bit about all that, and then I'll ask you about.
And that's a great question. I think you're absolutely right about that aha moment. And I think, like, if you listen to Brian Chesky, those guys from Airbnb, I mean, they'll talk about being at like Obama's inauguration and not being able to find a place to stay, or, and I think there are those moments. For me, this was not something, I think I fought against it. I was in a well-paying career, very, very much so. I think I loved that. I built it. It was not like, I remember my ex husband's, his mom was like, "You guys have careers, not jobs." And we did, and they were really well paying, right? This was something very much not what I planned to divert into. But I realized the need was huge, and there were divorces happening, separations, et cetera. And also, like, we had all these college students who couldn't find these jobs that were worth their time as well. And so I think that was, like, very much something that goaded me forward in this whole thing. And I think Kidcaboo was tested over time. We built safe procedures, operations, et cetera. And then we, of course, built tech to support that, right? I think tech, as you said, is very secondary to this. You can't replicate our system without the operations, without the team that we have. I think there are 2 other, well-reputed companies in this country who are doing this, and I respect those guys and their founders very much so, but I think they went B2B. We were able to pull off B2C, and I think that has a lot to do with my personality and the personality of our team as well, and like what we do for drivers. But yeah, I mean, I think it was definitely it was definitely something that was like, wow, if you do not treat your drivers like they are the head of the world for you, because they are, okay, we're gonna fail, right? And every single time you do this. Now, I don't know that many people have told you guys that. I don't know. You can tell me.
No, not lately. Not lately.
I know. That's like our approach.
I mean, look, so you said competitors around reputable companies. So may we talk about that for a minute or two?
Sure. I think Hop, Skip, and Drive, and Zoom, certainly.
Zoom not that much, but I know Hop, Skip, and Drive personally, because a good friend of mine is on the system, and my wife is on the system. My wife is
on the system, do you mean like in their
my wife is on Hop, Skip, and Drive, and she loves it. And she wouldn't do rideshare. I'm telling you that. She's also on Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and all that. She does DoorDash here and there, but she likes Hop, Skip, and Drive. It fits her schedule. And she drives kids around, back to school, back and forth. But you correctly stated, they went more like B2B now, because they're with the LAUSD school system.
Yeah.
Yours is more like B2C. So to our audience, B2B is business to business, and
Yeah.
B2C is business to consumer. So
Thanks
tell
for
our
sharing.
audience what the difference may be, because I'm sure they're familiar with hop, skip, and drive
Mhm.
in many states, but what is the difference between B2B and B2C?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and look, I think, are you guys familiar? I know Harry is with Brad Tusk, like, you know, those guys like at Tusk, you know, they
Yep.
were involved integrally, I think, early on with Uber and I think there were very serious regulations. Look, getting the insurance, I was just told flat out by the best people in the country, globe, maybe, like, you can't do this, right? Like, and I think ultimately, and this is a competitive advantage that I don't like that I had. I hate mentioning it. I will. You know, I think that was something that came from a family loyalty connection, et cetera. I mean, I think the entry barriers here are huge. I respect very much what they've done, all of them. I do think Hop Skip Drive was active during COVID, and they learned the huge need that is tied to schools. School buses were very relevant in the 60s. Like, they worked for 90% of families, kids, et cetera. And now they don't. Like, it just declined for many reasons, right? Women went to work, et cetera. You know, there's not a mom at home at the end of the day. And also, like, kids now go to activities, et cetera. I think they saw that huge need. And I think they realized buses are going down. Zoom did too. And they just worked better with their system, their product in that realm. I think, again, I did those 800 drives, and I have to say, like, I learned a lot from that, but it's also very much tied to my personality. Like, and the people we've hired, like, you know, the way we built these and scaled these user communication channels. Nobody else spends time on that, right? They're like, oh, fuck it, like, let's let tech take over this. Like, cool, but like not our what we're doing, you know. And I think we've managed to do this, and I respect Joanna. I respect Ritu so much. That need is huge. And I think both of them are, one may have been branded a unicorn, the other one's on their way. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
We'll get there. But, like, I mean, we have the scalability that's different, right? We can move across states. You can look at our Google reviews, and people will say this, like, all right, cool. You're not in Scottsdale exactly. We're not in this school district, but you can be on the suburbs. And, you know, that's been very different. Like, and I think drivers love what you're saying as far as, like, let's do this 7 a.m. ride for the next 180 school days.
Yeah.
I know I can rely on this. Kids go to school, and then I'll do Uber and Lyft during the day, right? And they suck. Yeah. Maybe I don't want to. I don't want to, like, offend. I love them, like, personally, but I don't like. I think that's a great need to fill, you know, pockets during the afternoon. But I think our jobs pay very well, and they're consistent, and people love that. And you know, Sergio, I hope your wife really likes that as well. You know.
Well, when you guys are, when you're in California, so, you know, while we're at it,
we're on our way to that, yeah.
Okay, while we're at it, so you know, obviously we're here to, you know, if there's more of an income source for, you know, with another app, it's another app. We're all for it. We wouldn't have you on if I didn't think there's a market for it, right? And I know from my wife that there is a market for it consistently.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about the onboarding process, right? Obviously, it's a little bit more scrutinized than a watered down background check by checker, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously, we know with scale, right, comes issues, right? Safety issues, and millions of drivers, you know, bad apples fall through the cracks. But for our community, how is that process with Kidcaboo, and what cities are you in too? Because pretty soon the chat's going to fly saying, are they here? Are they here? Are they here?
Yeah.
And, you know, tell us what cities you're in or what states you're in.
Yeah.
And what the onboarding process is.
Thank you so much for asking that. I think we've been able, again, I think Hop, Skip, Drive, and Zoom have to be localized and build driver pools for school district needs, right? I think there was an incident in Seattle. Zoom, I think, had to pull back with, like, is it First Student, whatever the bus company is, like, I think they had to, like, have someone step in. They have to really, like, centralize driver pools. We're not doing that. We're able to move across states very fast. I think we moved across Texas in about 3 months, and safely, efficiently. And Harry and I spoke about this, and it was sort of like, wow, that's fast. It is, right? Fine. But we did betas that were extensive, exhaustive in the Manhattan area, and, like, we were able to move very fast. So right now we're across, I'll say that, and I mean across, in any area: Florida, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Texas, Arizona, North Carolina, Nebraska, Connecticut, and I believe that's all, Virginia, if I mentioned that. I think Maryland's coming soon. We have several other states that are about to launch as well. And for drivers, and maybe you guys can tell me if this is typical, but, like, because I'm not sure, but, like, we pay for background checks. We do in person at first, and then now it's, I think, on Zoom interviews, right? We pay checker, whoever we're dealing with at that time, right? Like, and we do exhaustive checks, right? And then also, like, rideshare mechanic. I think, do you guys know Hamed? I think Harry does for sure. Yeah, love those guys, and they're they're close friends of us, and they've been really cooperative. And they're just like, let's, like, take this on. Like, if we see someone that's crazy, whatever, like, cool, we'll tell you, right? So we're paying for all of these things. And then we also have, like, camera installers on the ground. And they'll also raise red flags when they have to. And so I think it's really exhaustive, I think we do at least 1 or 2 background checks through 2 separate companies every single time. Yeah. And
Okay.
yeah.
How about, so you said camera installers. Are you mandating that dash cams are installed in each car?
No, so we not mandating. So we've only had one instance, and this is going to go the opposite of the way that you think. Okay, so one instance in which someone brought this up, because at first I was like, privacy. We had, like, the best lawyers in the country, and we were like, all right, every driver is going to be like, F you, no, I'm not putting this in my car. That's crazy. Okay. So we did not have that experience. There was one time when we decided we were not sending cameras out immediately because we wanted someone to do, like, a test drive to make sure, because look, we're paying for it, right? So it's a lot of money, right? We work with Display Ride. I think you guys know them as well, and love those guys, but it's a lot of money. And, like, so at some point we were doing a test drive, and this woman who had grandchildren and children said, look, I want this right, like, now, straight up, like, you can trust me, I'm going to keep, like, stay with you. She wanted it for her security. And I was like, wow, I always thought this would be like an invasion of privacy. Yeah. Didn't see that coming. And she was like, I'm not driving without it. And I was like, good for you. That's crazy.
We recommend to every gig worker, regardless of how many hours they're driving, even if they're driving for 5 hours, but for your personal privacy. I mean,
I know.
Dashcam is a must, but these days.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say, so I'm a driver in one of the states that's Kidcaboo is in, right? And I sign on. Mm-hmm. The app is ready to go, obviously, on the consumer side as well as the driver side. So you had no issues there. Do you consider Kidcaboo a startup? Is that what you would think it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think we're at that stage where you sort of assume that know that you're moving from, like, we've had a transition from a startup team to people with, like, early, mid-stage, high growth startup, like, experience, right? And I think we're moving out of that. I do think, with this next raise, I think we're raising a few million right now. And we're moving out of that. I think we've had a lot of demand for the stock in this company. I don't want to say too much about that because I'm not sure what I should say, but I think it's been, we've had people sort of almost at a very high level, and high return. I think that's been amazing. I think we're transitioning, right? But I think it moves fast, right? But again, as I think I told Harry at some point, as much as it's early days for us, as far as look, we launched Texas first state mid 2022, right? But we had been doing this for a very long time. It does not feel new to me, right? But again, I think we talked to our app team that I absolutely adore, and we're working overseas. And I spoke with one of them today, one of their leaders, and I was like, look, it's time to rebrand. We're gonna diversify revenue streams, and we have these things coming in right now, so I think we're sort of at that stage. We were savvy, right? We did a lot with little. I think that didn't always happen in ride sharing, right? But so on the edge.
If I were to recommend anything to you as a CEO,
please.
would be we have a KISS method.
Yeah.
So the KISS method, look, I honestly, if the less you gamify your app, the less you make it feel like it's a casino, the less you play with people's endorphins, meaning, bells and whistles and all these wonderful colors and showing up, right? I think the more drivers will gravitate towards the app, because it's become such a gamified and gamblified space that it's tiring, really. I mean, I want to focus on my driving. I want to focus on who I'm picking up. I want to focus on making money. I don't need all these ancillary things to tell me go here, go there, but anyway, so that would be my one recommendation. So
no, I thank you for that. And I think you're absolutely right. And that's something I think simplify, we have to be available, but the things you guys talk about, I've learned so much from you guys, if I can say that really fast and go but I've learned a lot. I'm not, sometimes you guys stun me and I'm like,
you learn
math add up. This does not multiply into this and do the division. Wow. Surge charging.
You learn, what you learn, Rebecca? You learn what not to do if you watch us. Seriously. Because, we break things down, right? We call it the way we see it. And you learn what not to do. And this is not a rocket science. You just pick up a kid from point A, drop off B, and then do it again. And that's it. We don't need any of this other stuff. If it pays decent, obviously drivers are going to sign up. So when are you going nationwide? Because I know I'm going to get 50 emails tomorrow saying, are they in California? Are they in Nevada? Are they in Utah?
Yeah, I think we have several states in the works. California was just moved up high on our list. That's going to be one of the quicker ones. I think we're moving fast, right? Again, we launched our first state in mid 2022, and now we're in 8 states. And I think, we have the insurance, we have we just have the scaling process in place. I think, and I want to make sure the drivers there are rewarded. I think that's where the diversification of maybe revenue streams comes in, because I do think we can find a way to your wife wants those regular drives, right?
Yep.
Great. And then what can we do for her in the middle of the day? Because there are a million, what is that company, Johanna or something, Johanna, that just was released. And that's amazing, right? It's just errands for families, and that's something we've always planned to do, and I'd done before. And I think there's a lot of needs, right, during the day, and so we'll be moving fast for sure across these states.
So when they do come to California, I'll have my wife sign up. I'll probably sign up.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go on the drive. I'll fly out there. I love LA.
Oh, there you go.
I was there for 10 years. Yeah. I'll fly out there, and I'll videotape her if she'll sign off.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would love that.
The one other thing that I actually wanted to talk to you about is the service only for parents, let's say, who are not able to take their kids to, let's say, soccer practice or gym classes or school? It's not just school, right? It's not just school and
No,
back.
certainly not. I
Okay.
think that's the differentiation I learned mostly in Jersey. I think, that they drew a hard line there for reasons I can get into later. Like
Yeah.
they were really school buses go to schools, and I'm like, wow, dude, are you 50 years back? Like, seriously? Like, and the governor was like, really, they should not be saying this. Like, I think people understand there's a lot of needs in modern children's daily transportation lives and families. Look, because parents go to work.
Yeah.
We're not back when in the ages when the school bus worked and like families have a mom at home every day.
Right.
So we're certainly diversifying, but I've also learned, like, I'm someone who's very confident. I'm 5'2". I weigh like 120. I'm not big, like, but I'm scared to get into an Uber sometimes, and I'm I don't know if I could like hold my own, but if I take my kids, like, I don't want to do that. We've had a lot of women, a lot of like elderly people,
Yeah.
I think, who have won, and Uber introduced Uber Teen, and people are like,
Yeah.
wow, did that interrupt you? Right? Like, okay, fair question. Second time they tried it.
That was coming. So you preceded me. So that was coming.
Yeah,
That was the
yeah,
next one.
no, and good question. Then, I mean, I think that's like, is there a potential partnership that acquisition we'll talk about? Yeah, I mean, I think they're not going to change their model, which is fast, cheap. And again, this is something like in TV, you always did this. You can do it well, fast, or cheap. Like, whatever, you choose two of the three, that's it. And they've chosen theirs, and we've chosen ours, right? And I think they've tried this. They're not going to change their model, and they shouldn't. Like, they're doing very well. You guys have talked to Dar, I assume. Like, I think highly of what they're doing, but it's not affecting our market, right? These guys are people who are the teens going into their cars are strong, football playing. I don't want to stereotype. Teens who can hold their own in a car. Okay? And I hate to say that, but no parent is putting a little girl, like a 13-year-old, into a car. Like, I'm sorry, it's not happening, right? And Harry and I have discussed this at length, but I do think that I want to say this, and I don't think that I'm going to say what I heard and read, and I did look into this. I believe that happened because 70% of their interest was from these on-demand teen rides. I did read that from a knowledgeable source. I don't want to cite that precisely, but I do think the need is huge. And I think.
Well, also, it creates the 13 to 17-year-olds are in their universe now. They're in their system, and then at 18 they could create their own accounts. I do understand what Uber does.
Oh,
we're not here for Uber. We're here for Kidcaboo. So here's we have a couple of minutes left. So tell us, in the States, which we have viewers in every state, but tell us why anybody should sign up to drive for a Kidcaboo. Tell us why, and
again,
then we'll close with that.
Yeah. So I think the one thing I learned from doing 800 rides, the first time I did that, I was like, all right, cool. This is a 15-minute ride for a 3-year-old. So, and I was like, well, it's close to my house, like 3-minute ride. I'll take $13 an hour, like, or not an hour, but like to do the ride, like it's 15 minutes in theory, right? Except that it's not. Like, you have to get dressed, go out, then change a kid's diaper, possibly. Like, there are different things involved. And by the time you get home, it's not 30. And so I went back to this mom, and I was like, because she was like the one who sort of threw this idea, like, please, Jennifer Cullum, I'll call you out right now. I hope she sees this. She was like, tell us if this feels fair. And I was like, all right, it doesn't feel fair, right? It's 15 minutes with your kid, but the work involved in getting there is like much more. And so at some point we set a minimum ride price of $23.50 per ride. It may be a little bit higher now, but like we pay drivers 60% of that. And so that equals out to about $14 for mileage minutes, whatever. But it's like a 2 to 3 minute like mile and 15-minute or less ride. Right.
Okay.
So that's quick. Right. And then we work with drivers to sort of like supplant that by, stacking rides one-on-one. We have like, I know people say they can't reach Uber or Lyft. You can, who to reach at Kidcaboo in a second. Like, you're like, I'm not happy. And we'll be like, all right, cool. We're going to figure this out right now for you. And we'll make you happy. And we stack rides, and I think that's really where drivers should feel like they're welcome, and they have felt like they were well compensated. We had one driver in Austin, Texas, I believe, possibly Dallas, and she texted me after I personally wrote to her and all of our drivers over Christmas. I was like, thank you guys so much, like one-on-one. And she was like, this is the best ride sharing company I've ever worked for, and I mean that. And she was in a place where those other two companies had been active. And she said, by far, this is the fairest, the most like well compensating, communicative, and I'm proud of that,
Well, I think it's definitely, there's a space for it, right? And you're going to find out. I mean, if there is demand, obviously there is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be spreading like wildfire through the country, right? Mm-hmm. And I do agree. Actually, the macro economy, the way it is now, people have to work longer hours now. Both parents now may have to work. If the wife wasn't working, she has to work now because inflation is killing everybody. And, these kids have needs, like you said. I don't know a kid that's not into 3 different sports and 2 different gymnastics clubs. Not like my day. And, they need to be driven. And then, if a grandma can't do it or an uncle can't do it, there is a need for it. And you guys are going to fill that need. So I want to thank you for showing up. I
thank you guys so much. I'm your biggest fan, both of you. I like adore you all. I love Harry too. I'm not
we don't like
fan
Harry.
of everyone. I'll say this, but I adore you guys. There's no way I can like sponsor a one of those draws you do tonight. Can I like Venmo one of you money?
If you want, sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
we can add
Will you text me or like email me right now? Like I'll do it. I swear.
No. We'll add an extra 25 from Kidcaboo. Mm-hmm. So we'll mention it. We'll do the drawing, and then we'll send you the winner's email address, and you take care of it. How about that?
Yeah, I'm just a huge proponent of supporting drivers, and again, I think based on my experience previously, like supporting people in the gig economy, I understand how hard it is.
Yeah. But again, thank you so much for showing up.
Yeah. Let me know how I can support you guys, please.
Just watch us, get past word of mouth. We know our community is growing really very, very quickly as well. And, we appreciate the support, really. I mean, I think we're here for drivers. And if Kidcaboo is another tool in the toolbox, 2 thumbs up for me. So
please, I'm a huge proponent of what you guys have been doing, and always happy to support. Our team as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm so grateful that you guys had us.
Oh no, we'll do updates. We'll always do updates. So we'll do updates when you're opening up in new states. You let us know. We'll just do a quick update. I mean, our community is drivers, and drivers are looking for new sources of income, and why not, right? So
I will. For sure.
Okay, cool.
If you have any leads in Nebraska, we should push. We should really push Nebraska. There are a lot of drivers there.
Okay.
Yeah. So
anyway, so drivers, if you're here near Nebraska, there you go.
That's right. You know where to go. Sergio at the rideshareguy.com. I will be Kidcaboo support now. On top of Lyft, Uber, DoorDash, I'll be Kidcaboo support now.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Rebecca, and hope you feel better too.
Yeah, thank you so much, Harry. Thank you for having us. If you're listening,
thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. And again, Venmo me or send me the info.
No worries. We'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk to you guys soon. Look forward to watching the rest. Bye. Bye.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right. So that was Rebecca from Kidcaboo. Thank you. Appreciate coming on. And yeah, if you're looking for more tools in the toolbox, this is another potential option for you. And you can go onto the website and look a little bit more information on Kidcaboo, the types of rides that they give, and get a little bit more information there. And then also
Yeah.
see if they're available in your state. But again, there's more places that are popping up when it comes to what places and what apps and all these different things that you can do in the gig economy. So if you are a driver and you don't want to do, food delivery like myself, you want more options to be able to do some sort of rideshare besides Uber and Lyft. Because, if something happens on one of the platforms, and if you're in Chicago, if something happens on one of the platforms for safety, you're both off, and trying to fight that is a whole different beast in there. So many different options is always a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, my wife does the competitors, called Hop, Skip, and Drive in LA. She likes it. And, she wouldn't do regular rideshare, but she's doing that. That's also rideshare for kids, though. I mean, look, there is definitely a space for it. And again, it's another app in your toolbox. If you guys want to learn more about it, go to kidcaboo.com. I'm pretty sure they have a page that tells you what cities they're in. And if you're interested, go through the sign-up process. It's as simple as that. It's a little bit more difficult than regular rideshare. There's a little bit more scrutiny, but if you don't have anything to worry about, why not? Join the group.
And
Sean,
hold on,
Sean.
Sean, thanks for the super chat earlier, and then also now because Rebecca came on.
Special shout out to Sean Chelik because he's an Armenian. He's my countryman. He's Armenian. So I'm gonna say Armenian. Hello in Armenian. Parev Ahber Vonses. There you go. So yeah, that's it. That was Rebecca Locke from Kidcaboo, and let's get going. Let's show some shady shit.
oh yeah, there's definitely some shady stuff going on. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about, is actually not shady. It's actually a good thing. So we're going to start off with some good stuff.
With this one.
We're going to be talking about how Lyft is adjusting fares on longer trips. So that's always a good thing, actually, because they're adjusting up. So, that language that we saw significantly longer and, a lot, they're not defined. It doesn't tell you anything. It just gives you an open door and, nobody knew. But now it looks like they're actually sort of being adjusted now.
Okay. These are both my trips, Chris. Okay. This is when you say rideshare is a small world, rideshare is a small world. So last week I was doing my ride challenge. Obviously, when I'm doing my ride challenge, I'm trying to take shorties, right? I mean, $3, $4, $5 maximum trips. So what happens? I get this trip. The one I got, the first one is on the right where it says 1243. But the upfront came in at 547, as you got, or 517, as you guys can see. Okay. And so I picked the guy up. I'm following GPS. It got me on the freeway, and then two exits were closed on the freeway. Unfortunately, Google Maps, as I'm doing Lyft, so I switched to Google Maps. It did not warn me or show me that the exits were closed. So the trip went, instead of original estimate of 15 minutes and 4.07 miles, it went for 21 minutes and 6.19 miles. So two more miles, about 6 more minutes, right? So I'm thinking, like, of course, they're not going to adjust the trip up, but I was having a good conversation with the guy. And, we were talking about it. What bar you're going to, where are you going to? But I'm going to, meet a girl for the first time. I'm going like, okay. I'm like, cool, good luck, whatever. I drop him off. Bro, I get a trip back to where I picked him up from. If you guys look at the maps, don't the maps look kind of identical?
Oh, yeah.
Guess who I picked up, Chris? I picked up his date.
Tom, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. So I picked up his date. So I look at the destination, it's the same bar or the restaurant. So, my mind says, well, I knew the freeways were closed or the exits were closed. But now I'm thinking, you know what? It's okay. Let's just extend hers a couple of miles as well. So I was having a conversation with her. And I took the exact same route just for this exact reason, because once I finished the trip, I saw the price adjustment up on Lyft, and tip came the next day, actually, right? I saw the 226 adjustment. I'm going like, I wonder if they're started adjusting, because for sure we have shown hundreds of these screenshots. They were not adjusting. We know that. Not for 2 miles and not for 5 minutes. Not a goddamn chance. That wasn't happening, right? Now, also, Chris, remember when I had Risher on? Remember I said, you know what? Why don't you guys do this? If a trip goes above an estimated time and distance, why don't you revert back to the rate card, right? And adjust with the LA rate card. This trip, Chris, went 2.12 miles longer. Guess what? In LA, the rate card before upfront fares was 80 cents a mile. So if you look at the 80 cents a mile, that's about $1.70, okay? And it was 13 cents a minute. And this is 5 or 6 more minutes. If you add the 80 cents a mile and 13 cents a minute for duration, you'll come up pretty close to 226, okay? So now in my head, I'm going like, okay, I'm going to take the exact same route. Let's see if they adjust on this one as well. Because I'm literally picking her up from the same spot, taking her to the same place. Boom, go there, say bye-bye, have a nice day. I even told her, I think your date's waiting for you at the restaurant. and sure enough, there is the adjustment. Now, are you people seeing this? In LA especially. Now, I don't know other cities. In LA, are you guys seeing this? Even in other cities, are you seeing adjustment for this? Now, I know for a fact, Chris, we've shown a million times, they were not adjusting for minimal stuff like this, right? And the trip on the left is exactly, it lasted just about 2.3 more miles and about exactly 5 more minutes. Not a chance in hell was Lyft adjusting up. We talked about this to no end. And now they're adjusting. So please send me your email, send me screenshots. If you're going 5 minutes, 1 mile over, 1.5 miles over, is this the significant? Is this, or are they just adjusting up, period, regardless of what it is, reverting back to the rate card? So there you go.
I don't know. I like it though. I like it because now you're getting paid for your time and money, or I'm sorry, time and gas that you're moving and having somebody in the car. I think that's nice. So hopefully this is something that we're going to see a lot more screenshots of when it comes to adjustments and things like that. But yeah, that's a good thing. So if you get to that drop-off location faster and quicker, well, hey, you know what? It doesn't need to be adjusted down at all. That's the agreed upon price for the distance and, estimated time. If you can find a way faster, great. If you get something that's going to be longer, you have to take a diversion route. This is something where, getting adjusted is actually a great thing. So, I like it.
I hope they listened. I hope that's the first change that's coming out of the interview. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is we're going to have when we have him on again. I mean, at this point, it's 5 months. So he was on the 27th last month. So that's a month now because it's the 24th. So he has 5 months and then he'll be back on. We're going to have him back on and we'll see. Was this one of the points? We'll talk to them and figure out there. So let us know if that's happening to you. But it's good to see. So this significant longer or a lot longer or further or whatever it might be. I'm glad to see that there's some action now where it looks like it's going to be adjusted.
I agree. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So let's why don't we do that special giveaway now? Let me make sure it's all set up. Hold on. All right. So with the niceness of Rebecca coming on, she wanted to do an extra giveaway for the drivers. So enter hashtag Kidcaboo into the live chat right now for your chance to win $25. And again, this is the one that Rebecca is going to do. So we appreciate that from you, Rebecca. And just enter hashtag Kidcaboo and we'll do that after our next segment. And this is the big one. This is the tips and what's going on with the tips. So we've had a lot of things when we talk about upfront earnings and fares and adjustments and shaving and all of that great little stuff in here. But what happens when you agreed upon a price for the upfront fare, and let's say it's $6.17, and then all of a sudden, when the ride's over, you end the ride, and then you see a tip was given to you. So you go look at the tip, you go look at the breakdown. It says tip was $8. You're thinking, oh, great. Instead of $6 plus $8, giving me 14. Well, no, what happens if it was only adjusted up a little bit? So we got a couple of screenshots here to show you what's going on. Um,
Uh, okay, so this one I get this all the time. Okay, I get, oh, they're stealing my tips. They're stealing my tips. I go, prove it to me. I mean, just send me something. You can't just say, oh, I saw the passenger in front of me tip me 5, but I never got the 5. I'm like, bro, that doesn't mean anything. Did the passenger literally next to you click the send button and it was sent? Because they go, I'll tip you in the app. You know, we hear it all the time. Oh, I'll tip you in the app. I'm like, that means you're never going to get tipped. But anyway, so this one, I got multiples of these. I mean, I got tons of these, right? So I put up a few for the show. And this driver obviously is a watcher and a listener and a member because he made my life super easy. What did he do? He circled and he circled. So your eyes don't have to wander. Okay, let's take the first trip. On the first trip, the upfront fare was $12.04. It says your fare went up with the yoo bells and whistles sign over there saying that the customer tipped you, right? So if the upfront fare was $12.04 and the tip included was 5, Chris, how's your math, Chris? Is your math pretty good?
My math is pretty good.
Yeah, what is that?
I do the
what
math,
that
and
add
it
up
comes
to?
out to 1704.
1704, right? Right.
Yep.
So how did that end up going to 1482?
I don't know.
You don't know.
That's what I want to know.
Okay. All right. On the next one, the upfront, as you guys can see, circled. It came in. This one was. I was like, this is bad. I mean,
You were
the first
really
one, I go,
bewildered.
maybe the chip, maybe the chip was shorter. Maybe there was a deduction. Maybe something happened. I'm going like, I don't know. The second one, the upfront comes in at $20.23. Okay. Look down on the below. This is the second screenshot. $5.92 in tip. Obviously, this person tipped 15%, with a percentage.
Mhm.
And it says, oh, hooray, your customer tipped you. So on this one, Chris, okay, there is a $5.92 tip plus the upfront fare of $20.23. How is that he only got $19.92?
Yeah, how did he get $1 less? Or I mean, not $1, 30 cents less than
On
the
top
upfront
of everything
fare?
else? Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this happening to you, people? Because this here, okay, okay, Uber, this is illegal. Okay, until now, all the shaving you guys did, okay, Surge shaving, Boost shaving, Quest shaving, all the possible shaving, EV promo shaving. We proved this million times over and over. We even proved it last week how you guys shaved and lowered the base fare to 25 cents on a trip. Okay, we're not sure on the shaving stuff, but according even to you, you're not supposed to touch the tips. Well, this is clearly messing with something here. I mean, this math is not adding up, Uber, at all.
No. I mean, even look at the next one. So the upfront fare says $20.49, and then you look down for what the tip is. That's $6. So that means you should have gotten $26.49 because you agreed to the upfront fare. You got $6 tip, and yet your earnings again was less than the upfront fare at 2020. So why are you actually losing money on that on top of the tip itself? So again, I just said it should be $26.49 should have been the total, not 2020. So now instead of $6 that you're missing $6.29.
Okay, tips are untouchable. Tips are untouchable. Delivery or rideshare. Tip is supposed to be paid fully to you. However, with this beautiful upfront algorithm that we have, okay? Because I'm so tired of these. I want this to end, Chris. Honestly, I want it to end. Every time I get one of these, bro, I go like, wow, they discovered something else. Now they're shaving tips. I'm going, this is illegal. This. You cannot mess with tips. Although they could say, no, we're getting the tip. There's the whole tip is right there. We're just lowering the whatever. What are they doing? Are they lowering the base fare? Is that what they're doing? Is that what's happening?
That's what it looks like. It looks like they're adjusting the fare after the fact
after the
because
trip.
of the tip.
No, after the trip, you can't do that. I mean, I don't think you can. And the last one, you know, the same thing. I mean, look, please, going forward, look at your receipts. If you see this, please send it to me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. I'm not going to say where the driver was. I know where the driver is. I even spoke to the driver saying, bro, are these for real? Because this is the first time I'm seeing this with tips. I've seen it with everything else. I've seen it with all of it, Surge, Boost, all of it. But I hadn't seen it with tips. Is this what's happening? This is not just Uber issue. Maybe Lyft is doing it too. Please send me the screenshots. This is illegal. Sergio at therideshareguy.com. This driver had more screenshots, which I don't know if I sent it to Chris or not. And then he decided to go to, oh, there's one more. He decided to go to support. Whatever good that is. Because the guy is short, like now he's short 5 on 1, 6 on 1, 3 on 1, 4 on 1. And like something is missing. I mean, he's short $20, $30, you know, on these trips. And he goes to support, and support says, you know, my name is whatever. Thank you for reaching out to support team. I can inform you that currently we are having an outage of this issue, Chris. Again, why is there an outage every time a driver is asking for where their money is at? How many of these have we seen?
Peculiar. I find that very peculiar.
I think this comes automatically. Every time a driver asks for where their money is, I think this automatically goes out. And the middle one is no different than the one on the right. So if you guys are seeing this, please send me. I know this was going on Uber Eats. There's tip baiting on Uber Eats. All kinds of stuff happens. Okay. That's a different story. This is the first time I'm seeing this on Rideshare. If anybody else is experiencing this, please send it to me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com.
Yeah, that's ridiculous what's going on. So hopefully, I don't want to say it's a glitch or something because
no, the driver did not get the money yet. Professor Kilomiler, not yet. He's waiting to fix the glitch. So
oh boy. See. All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't know what the hell happened to my computer. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
The giveaway.
Kidcaboo. Are we doing Kidcaboo?
Yep, we're gonna do that right now. I just gotta get, for some reason, all my windows just decided to close on themselves. So I gotta reopen everything up. I don't know why that happened, but okay. So
shit happens. We're live.
Oh yeah.
Live, it happens on live.
That it does. All right, so for those people who entered hashtag Kidcaboo into the chat, let's
somebody's winning.
Shit. Hold on. Why is that not? There we go.
There it goes. Somebody's winning. $25.
Rolando, congratulations.
Garcia. Rolando, congrats. Email me, Sergio at therideshareguy.com. $25 coming your way.
Yep.
From Kidcaboo. Rebecca, if you're watching, there you go. There's your winner, Rolando Garcia. I will forward his email to you and you deal with it. Rats. Yeah, defenestrated, missed it. What happened? You're too late. It's too late, Tom Finton. But don't worry, Tom. Don't worry. We have two more coming up.
Don't worry. You know what?
We'll have a lot more coming up.
Don't worry. Well, no, actually, the one thing that we were going to do was we were going to do the actual the first giveaway right now, but
we're going to give more
because Rebecca wanted to give away some. So we wanted to get that one done first. So now enter hashtag money into the chat and do it before we do the drawing so you can get entered. All you got to do, hashtag money into the live chat, and then you can win possibly $25 of Sergio's money.
Yeah. Sure. And so I got a lot of emails last week saying, oh, there was no money. Last week we had a legislator on, we had all kinds of timing issues and stuff like that. So there was no money last week. So we apologize
Well,
for
here,
no money last week.
hold on. Hey,
Cool.
there's not always
What?
a giveaway. Sometimes things happen, and things don't always happen. So
Okay, you shouldn't be
if
watching
you're
us for
putting
the
in,
giveaway anyway,
I
right?
know
They shouldn't be
you should
watching
be
us for the giveaway. I mean, honestly, if you're watching for the giveaway, then you're at the wrong place. But yeah, hashtag money. So this is my money now. No. Although Lyft
all right.
did not show me any love this week. None. Zero. Zip.
Because
Zilch.
they're adjusting your fares now.
Well,
So they're like, oh
yeah,
well, you get one or the other. You don't get both.
okay, so this tip thing is irritating, more irritating than surge shaving, bush shaving, quest shaving, EV bonus shaving, all this shaving. Okay, this is bad. This is not kosher. So again, send me all the screenshots. Sergio at rideshareguy.com. There you go.
Yeah, it's not happening. That's not cool. We
No,
got to
that's
figure
illegal,
that
bro.
out, fix it.
It's illegal, bro. You
And
can't even do that at a restaurant. That's illegal. You just can't do that. I mean, come on. Anyway. So,
all right. Well, let's move on. Let's talk about this Lyft Surge bonus algorithmic wage discrimination that's happening at LAX. You'll be able to fill us in. Unfortunately, the screenshots that we have from the phones are pretty fuzzy. Unfortunately, sometimes when people are taking pictures, they might not be as sharp as they need. So I have it blown up pretty big on my computer here. It might be difficult for you to see if you're watching on the phone or anything like that, but we'll break it down for you exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Chris's eyes are better. Okay, so I was at LAX yesterday for about 5 hours, 6 hours. This is not happening on Uber. This is only happening on Lyft. And so why I was at LAX is not the issue. I did a few trips, obviously, but the story will come out in probably early November, what we're working on. However, a few drivers that and the pen was full, Chris. Literally, there was like 500 cars there, bro. Everybody waiting, and I'm going like, "Why are you all here? Why are you all here?" I mean, I'm like, "We'll just go out there and do some trips."
Because we all know the people at LAX like to party instead of drive.
Yeah. So they go, "Look, Serge, look what's happening." And I'm like, "Okay." A few people recognize me, and I'm like, "Whatever. Hey, how's it going? Whatever." And they put their phones down side by side. Just like, remember our tests we did in Chicago with the EV shaving and with the, algorithmic wage discrimination, drivers getting different.
Two brothers when I was in Chicago with the drivers, and we had our LA, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, that was that. And then, so they put their phones down in the trunk, literally, like all three of them, and there's more. They go, look at my Surge, look at the guy in the Surge down in the middle, and look at the guy on the right. And I'm like, how's that? This is all simultaneously taken. Okay, I mean, the reason the picture is fuzzy is because it's not a screenshot. The phone's down and took a picture of the phones. Okay, what does the Surge say on the left, Chris? I can't.
$21 bonus zone, baby.
Okay, well, how about the guy in the middle?
$4.
$4. And how about the guy on the right?
$4.
Yeah, and how about the guy on the right?
$25.
$25. So lucky winner is on the right. I'm going like, how's that possible? I go, one guy gets 25. The poor schmuck in the middle get 4. I go like, sorry, buddy. And this did not adjust, by the way. It was like this because, as you guys can see on the bottom with Lyft, the sticky actually works a lot better than Uber's. And it was it. This is 21 bonus surge zone on the next one, 4 and 25. I'm like, are you guys seeing this at airports, in different airports around the country? Because this was happening at LAX all day long yesterday. Everybody had a different search number. Now, I talked to some of them saying, are you like a high AR driver? Do you have a high cancellation rate? Do you have this? They go, no, fairly about the same. Most of them were. But Lyft decided to just show different love to different drivers. Now, I mean, look, I'm happy that the guy got 25 on the right. But if I was the guy in the middle, I don't think I'd be too happy with that. Would you?
No, not at all. I mean,
what? I mean, see, the difference is not like 50
It's not
cents
like
or
a
something.
$1 or something. No, I mean, like
Yeah,
between
this is a lot.
the low and the high, it's $21. And what if the one person gets the ride, the other person could have had the same ride, and they're
Uh-huh.
gonna get paid $21 more.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm not sure. I go, I don't know what this is. They're asking me like, why is this? I go, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And we have another one, but I think they put 4 or 5 phones down side by side.
Yeah, there's 5. Hold on
And
1 second.
yeah, and that's this one. And this is 5 phones, 5 different drivers, and all 5 are different searches. I go like, okay, I I have nothing to say. I don't know. So I
Yeah, it's
will
kind of
ask
hard
this
to
to,
see this one,
yeah,
and then the next one that's up. It's a
pretty
little easier
clear.
to
Yeah,
see.
okay, this one is pretty clear. Okay. So 1425 on one. Again, 4 on the other one. Is it 4? Yeah, 4.
Yeah,
And 10 on
and
the
then
other
they
one.
hit
I don't know. I don't know how this
another
works.
$10.25 difference between low and high right there.
Yeah, I don't know how it
And
works.
they're literally all the same. And you can't say, oh well, one's a iPhone or Android issue, because on the first screenshots that we showed, the iPhone was the highest at the $25. Then you see here the 2 iPhones are lower than the Android, so it's not even like a phone thing either.
Okay, there's a good question. Rideshare Lisa's question might explain it. The surge amounts could vary by what tiers the driver has turned on. No, they were all on standard, not Lux. We made sure that they were all on standard, not
Nothing else.
Lux Black. These are all like Priuses. They're all driving Priuses. One guy was driving a rental. So it wasn't, I figured that already. No, it wasn't like Lux Black and this and that. No, it wasn't that. They were all, and I'm like, I am not sure what this is. And so I'm gonna send this to Lyft. Let's see if they have an answer for it, Chris. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know, but pretty interesting. So if you are in the airport, if you wait at the airport for some reason, why don't you get out, talk to a couple of different drivers
Yeah.
and see what maybe they have versus you. And if this is happening, in LAX, is this happening all over? Then the other thing too, not just at the airports. Stand around where there's some business going on. If you know a couple of Lyft drivers in your area, get together, grab a coffee, throw your phones on, and see what kind of bonuses you're getting. Go during the busy times so you can see, and then grab a cup of coffee, grab a screenshot, and after you're done with that screenshot, take a couple of rides and make that money. But at least that way we can kind of see: is this just limited to the airport? Is this something in LAX, LA? Or is this something that's a little more widespread?
Yeah, and Roxy's questions make sense, but the answer to that, Roxy, is when it starts surging, it's showing a different surge for everybody, regardless of how long you're in the back of the queue, you're front of the queue. It didn't make any difference. It's just when from no surge starts showing up, and different surge amounts are showing for different drivers. I don't think it makes any difference when they came into the queue, how long they've been there. I don't think that makes any difference, because surge is dynamic. It wasn't like surging all the time. We were waiting for it to surge. And when it did surge, everybody was looking at a different surge price. You could have come in 2 minutes ago and there was no surge. But when it kicked in, it was all different prices for all 3, 4, 5 different drivers. So I don't know. But sure, it should be the same, Connie. Yeah, but I don't think, I think we may have stumbled into this anyway. So we'll see.
Yeah. So we're asking for you guys, if you see this, if you know what's going on or anything where it comes to the difference, shoot us some emails and let us know.
Yep.
All right,
Sergio
let's give away some money. Let's give away some of Sergio's money.
Yeah. Well, this next week there's no money, by the way, because this week I have no ride challenge, and you guys I'm dry now, so I'm like, yeah.
Tom, congratulations!
Hey,
you are
Tom.
the winner of $25 of Sergio's money. Appreciate that.
Didn't he do a super chat?
Did he?
I think so.
Let me see.
I think so. That's an investment. Yeah, he did.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it was.
I guess it pays. It pays to pay.
It pays to pay. Okay, winner, Tom Fenton, email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com. Your money will be coming to you tomorrow. I know people want to talk about Lux, but I want to wait because it's a cluster F of a situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lyft Lux was taken away.
Sort of. The whole thing with Lux is they said that it was going to start stopping on the 18th and roll into Extra Comfort. And it was going to start the 18th and then roll into November. So there's this transitional period. And that's kind of, I think, throwing everybody off. So Lux is still available in some areas. It's not available in others. You can see Extra Comfort in some. You might not be able to order it, but there's that period between.
All of LA and Orange County, they killed Lux about 11 a.m. today. There is no more Lux. My car showed up on Extra Comfort, which I wasn't able to do Lux, but now I can do Extra Comfort. And the funny thing is, I looked at my passenger app. There's no Lux anymore, but now there's no Extra Comfort either. So how am I supposed to even order this thing? Like, I don't know. Like, or unless they're pinging people, maybe they haven't put it. They're upgrading people from standard to Extra Comfort. I don't know how the algorithm is working, but on the passenger app, it's not there. But it is now, and it may not pay as bad as you guys thought. So we'll have to find out. We'll do a little research on that for a week, and we'll talk about that next week. So,
yep. All right. So we ready for some more bad news? Sergio, are you ready for some surge or lack thereof? One of the things that was also supposed to happen with upfront fares, it was supposed to be more transparent, right? That was one of the big things that they talked about, was more transparency coming to the fare, because you're going to know where you're picking somebody up and dropping them off, and you're going to know the fare up front. But everything else, it's a big giant mystery, including what they're doing with Surge.
Okay, this is bad. Okay, I know we don't want to be bearer of bad news because there's already enough bad news around the world and in the US, I'm pretty sure. Well, thank you. Yeah, but it may not be as bad. Well, we will take a look at some screenshots of that for next week. Okay, in Ohio, some cities in Ohio, some cities in Texas, and some cities in Tennessee. I got this from 3 different cities and 3 different states. Uber has come up, Chris, finally, with the ultimate gamification. Okay, remember when the gray clouds showed up, right? We said, what the F? What is this?
Gray clouds of doom.
What dollar signs, gray clouds, all that good stuff showed up, right? We didn't know what it was. Okay, now they have decided that you guys, the drivers, us, the drivers, okay, in any we've gotten used to the sticky surge with the dollars, right? I mean, red, orange, and colors were what they were, but they were dollar signs, right? In the high surge, maybe it would be $8. Neighboring, a little outskirts would be maybe $3, $2, $5, $12, whatever it is.
I like, you know what my favorite was the little hex. It had the little hex, and then it said like 2.6x. 3.4x. That was what I liked.
Yeah, well, that's gone. That's been gone for years.
I know.
In Cincinnati, there you go. Ohio, we do this. Yeah, Brian, I don't know, bro. I don't know how this is going to work out for you guys. Now, this is the second stage of the upfront fares bullshit. Okay. So now, Chris, what it does is they have come up with these wonderful colors: purple, red, orange, all this wonderful shit. And you read this, because I was like, and now it will not give you guys, it will give you guys the lightning bolt, or the surge sign. And even when a ping comes in, it'll just show you the surge sign. It will not tell you $3 surge or $3 in addition to, or nothing. This I call the ultimate mystery surge. It's like totally casino now. We have no idea what the algorithm is going to figure out to pay us in Surge. None. Zero. You can drive into a cloud that says high. You can drive into a cloud that says very high. You can drive into a cloud that says nothing. And this is it. This is the new game. And I don't like this. I mean, I'm telling you, people, this is as bad it could be for the driver as possible, because on the back end, the passenger is getting charged with a multiplier. Within that millisecond, the algorithm will decide, okay, well, it's actually a $3 surge zone, but I'm just going to pay him $1.26. I'm not sure what the okay, what's going on here, Chris? What is this? You like this one? You like
No.
we got the new surge?
Oh, this is even less transparency because you don't have any idea what's going on. All you have is these clouds to go by, so you really don't know.
Yeah.
And you don't know how much it's going to be extra. You don't know, you can't see anything. The transparency is just, again, cloudy. So you're driving into fog at this point.
Yeah.
You don't see what it's coming to, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. And again, they always say transparency, transparency, transparency. How many times do they say transparency in the like talking about upfront fares and stuff like that? Oh, hell no. They're lying through their teeth when they're talking about how much transparency is.
No, there is upfront fare. It just doesn't tell you anything. It just says this is the fare with the surge sign, and it says this is it. I think this is it. You don't know what the surge is, but trust us, it's there's some surge in here for you.
Yeah, for those who are watching and looking at it right now, on the left, if you look at the left screenshots, it has the four little symbols that you could potentially see to let you know where the surge is. So instead of seeing the prices, which could be any price, you're going to see, like Sergio said, was very high, which is purple, high, which is red, two little up arrows, which is a circle and it's orange, and then one little carrot stick that's yellow. Clearly, everybody wants the very high stuff. So yeah, beyond that, then if you look at, the right-hand screenshot where it shows what the upfront fare is going to be, it's going to show you the upfront fare, and then it's just going to show you surge. It's not going to show you anything else. So it's not going to show you a percentage. It's not going to show you a dollar amount. It's not going to show you anything. It's just going to say surge. So who knows what that surge could be? Who knows what that base fare could be? And they're just going to crumble it up all together and give you the price on top.
Yeah. And somebody did a trip and sent me the screenshot, and this is what it's going to look like. So you guys know, this is what it's going to look like. Okay, this is like this kind of little cluster. It says high, very high, whatever. And somebody actually went in to support, God bless him, and says, asked support, why is showing in map with no surge dollar amounts, like before. And they came back and said, I'm extremely sorry for the trouble caused to you due to the technical issue. Remember, Chris, how that's the other thing, the other surge started, the gray clouds, it was like a technical issue, but it just kind of got stuck. Remember that one? It was the exact same language, exact same.
I like, yeah, but did you also notice, though, the other one was the technical issue when it came to the upfront fare being lower or not the difference between the actual agreed upon upfront fare that you accepted the trip at and the tip. And they said it was some issue on their end. Why would, I mean, even this, why would something like this be an issue on your end when you're literally putting into the code for this? So clearly the coders and what's going on that side and support do not talk at all, because otherwise you wouldn't see this technical issue from our end facing this issue. Okay, well then fix the damn thing.
They are announcing it on the app. There is a new surge, and the driver goes, "What's happening?" And then support comes back and says, "Oh, there's just a problem. I don't know."
Yeah, it's just so that's what happened when we first saw the Central Florida glitch, the surge glitch, and it's like, oh, this is a technical thing. And then like a week later, we had a couple more screenshots of it going elsewhere, and it was different than what it is now, but it was still the same type of concept. And I'm like, look, if they're baking it into the code and they're putting it out here like this, they're doing this on purpose. This isn't anything other than them trying to do this.
Yeah, and then it continues. It says there is nothing wrong with the account. Your account is all set. It's just a technical issue faced by many drivers, and our team is aware of the issue, and working hard, on the issue to fix it as soon as possible. Now, what do you think, Chris? Do you think the dollar surge is going to come back, or this is going to just stay?
I hope dollar surge comes back.
No.
Actually, I hope that they decouple surge from the fare and then you actually get paid in addition to, not some, oh, we're going to give you $3 extra, and then, you know, they screw the fare, so you get like a 25-cent fare
Mhm.
that we talked
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
So
I don't think Surge is coming back. So whoever you are in these states and cities, somebody said Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah, this is the new Surge, boys and girls. And somebody did a trip and took one for the team and sent it to me. I'm like, okay. As you guys can see, he was literally in the middle of, as his cursor on the left, in the second screenshot. He was literally under the very high sign, that purple. Are they going with the Lyft colors now? What's happening here? I'm not sure.
yeah, I think it might be.
Like a copying Lyft now. and so he took a trip, and this is how the ping is going to look, boys and girls. It's going to say 912. Include Surge. There's a Surge sign right there. The rating of the passenger, the pickup, the drop off, how far the pickup is, and how far the drop off is, and how, you know, and how many minutes to pick up and to drop off. And then this is the receipt for that same trip. The reason the trip went up a little bit because he got 5 cents for waiting time. And here's the receipt. So I was thinking, Chris, maybe they will tell you what the Surge is going to be, right? But even on the receipt, it's a mystery. It's a mystery on the receipt. It's nothing. It's just
yeah, it's not showing anything. The one thing though, did you look at the receipt? Did you see see what the customer paid? I'm like, I want to know what the customer paid for this ride. Did you see what the customer paid?
Customer paid 8 something with the 174 discount, 611. Uber lost their ass on this trip.
Yeah. Which wasn't even what the upfront fare cost.
Exactly. Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't get that
working.
one. Yeah. No, actually, here's the thing. The customer price was actually $6.11 minus the $1.74. So they actually only paid $4.37.
Oh, okay. They even paid less. Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe it's not working for Uber.
Somebody doesn't know math over there, huh?
I just don't know, bro. But, you know, and also this goes back to people who constantly say Uber takes 50%. Where's the 50% on this one, people? Like,
no, you took over 100% on that. You took 200% of that ride.
Yeah, you took pretty much everything the customer paid, plus you took a few more from Uber. So,
yeah.
But yeah, this is it, man. This is the new Surge, Chris. I don't have it yet.
Yeah. And we want to know what you think. I mean, I've been seeing a couple of different people saying, "Oh, bad,"
yeah.
But we want to know what are your thoughts? Do you think that this is better? Do you think that this is going to be making it more efficient for you? Do you like the high, very high, or the uptick carrots? What do you think about this? Put in the chat what you think.
Okay, less chance for you to get pissed off, Chris, because look, if a trip comes in 2-mile pickup, 10-mile drop off, right? And the algo lowers the base to like $5 on the trip, but there's like a $12 surge in it. Now you're not going to be able to tell the shaving at all.
No,
literally,
exactly.
You can't tell the shaving.
So
maybe they are watching and going like, "Oh, maybe we shouldn't just show them anything."
See, well, here's the thing. This is what I talk about. Imagine the boardroom that they're sitting in, coming up with these ideas, and then they get scolded because we're calling them out. And they have to be like, oh, well, you know, now we got to go back and we got to change things or adjust things or put people, you know, pay people back of what they're supposed to get. Because that has happened. We've gotten people paid, which is good. You know, they're rightfully owed that money and they actually have gotten paid that money. So that's a good thing. But it shouldn't happen in the first place. And then the second boardroom meeting is, all right, these were great ideas, but those bastards over at Show Me the Money Club are screwing with it. So, question: how can we get it where they can't tell it anymore?
They're shaving or not, right?
This is what they're doing. This is the bullshit that we got to deal with. So, don't worry, Uber. We're going to figure it out too, and we're going to report exactly what's happening when it comes to the shaving. So you can pretend you're going to one up us, but we're going to be one up you. Don't you worry about that.
They're going to put us out of business, Chris.
No. With the amount of bullshit that they're pulling, they're not going to be able to go out of business with us.
They're going to put us out of business. There's no more shaving to talk about. There's no more stealing. There's nothing. So what are we going to talk about? Nothing.
We're going to be talking about, how about we talk about what's going on in California when it comes to the dash cam?
Yeah, bro.
What's going on with that?
I don't know. I think, okay, this is, okay, obviously, I'm in California, you know, I'm in a a little different situation than most of you. So anyway, Governor Newsom signed the bill into legislation. There's going to be more restrictions of what you can do with the recording that your dash cam takes. I mean, there's going to be limits now. So under Senate Bill 296, introduced by Senator Bill Dodd of Napa Valley, selling of these images or visual material to third parties or for advertising purposes will be prohibited, will be illegal.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So for all the YouTubers who take the
Actually, that's not true.
No, I don't know.
No. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Let's say you're going to put dash cam footage on YouTube.
Okay.
You are not selling the footage at all.
Okay.
So it says selling of the images or visual materials to third parties. First of all, you're not selling it to anybody if it's your channel.
Whoa.
If you are also giving it to somebody else to show or react to or anything like that, it's not going to have any impact either. Plus, it really won't. So that type of thing won't impact.
You're making money with it, though. You're making money off of YouTube.
Yeah, but here again, if you're not selling it to somebody else, then it won't affect you.
Okay.
So if you are putting your dash cam footage up, so let's Dave the Uber slave, he's in LA. He posts his dash cam footage. It won't affect him because he's not selling it to a third party. He is facilitating that on YouTube, and he's the one who's putting that out there, and you're getting ad money from the video playing through views, not through anything else. So that's not. And then let's say you get hold of me and say, hey, check out this dash cam footage, go throw it on your channel or something. You're not selling that data either. So that's where it's coming into.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I definitely was concerned about this because I have a dash cam. I have a display, right? And I read it, and with what I limited it is, the story was. And I immediately thought, okay, what if some jackass gets in my car and says, turn the camera off now? Because there's a new law. You cannot take my picture because they don't understand the law either. It's going to happen, right? It's going to happen. Some passenger's going to walk in my car and say, stop the camera. It's going to happen. So,
and then I'll say, well, stop the ride. Have a good day.
Yeah, get the F out. Anyway, so it seems like everywhere we go these days, we're being recorded or surveyed with no idea how the images are being used. I'm like, okay. And this breakdown of our privacy is now happening inside our own cars. Okay. With Governor Newsom signing on this new law, we can prevent the unwanted taking of video by in-vehicle cameras and give consumers more control, like they needed more control. Okay. How about that everybody whips out their iPhones and Samsungs and records everything anyway? You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. So this is all in car. And
so the other side of this is I don't think this is geared at rideshare driving. I think this is more like Tesla, and I think it's the ones who actually have dash cams put in through their own means for the car itself, and then whether they're using that information or data or selling it to third parties. Where are you driving? When are you driving? That type of information. I think that's really where they're going at when it comes to these types of laws that's being passed. That's my interpretation of it, because that's more like your data broker. That's more your selling that particular data versus somebody having a dash camera in their car recording. Because I don't know, is California a 1 or 2 party state for consent?
2.
Okay, so you need both parties in order to consent to that. So New York is like a 1 party state. So as long as I'm the one who knows that's recording, then passenger I can tell them to F off and they can't do anything about it.
I've had problems with that, but we even with the stickers on the car saying that you're about to get recorded, blah blah blah, all the shit. But people still, especially if they're drunk and shit, they don't want, they think you're just going to do something with it. But anyway, and then knowing this in California is a big market, and we have a relationship with DisplayRite, which is my dashcam company. And I immediately forwarded the article to Abdul Qasim, who is the CEO of DisplayRite. And I said, is this concerning? Is this what's happening? I mean, can I use it still? And are you worried about it? So he immediately is very good at coming back, and he comes back and goes, hello, Sergio. I parsed through the actual legislation. They are indeed talking about privacy with cameras installed by the manufacturer. So Chris was right on that one, which is Tesla has cameras all over the car, inside and out, obviously, of the vehicle that record inside the cabin. It appears that manufacturers of such vehicles are required to notify the buyer or the leaser of such cameras, and also not be able to monetize the videos pertaining to individuals directly or via third parties. So it also does not have any impact as such on rideshare. So once I got this from him, because I was like, what the F? And now I'm going to keep the camera in the car. I'm just going to keep doing what I was doing anyway. So
Yeah.
that's it.
So I don't think this is going to affect rideshare drivers. I think this is more Driving Style actually put the comment saying cause of this is Tesla workers sharing sensitive images recorded by customer cars. And I think
Makes sense.
that was I've heard that on a couple of different facets as well too. So that could
Yeah.
probably be the very well initial basis. And then on top of it, any of the data that was being uh, sold and data brokers, again, that would
Yeah.
be where are you driving, what stores are you visiting, for targeted ads and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
a huge thing too.
Okay. All right.
So I think a lot of that has to deal more with those side of the things. So if you're driving, you have a dash camera. If you're in California, you can continue using your dash camera as as you've been using since you've got it. When
Yeah.
it comes to posting that onto YouTube, the best thing I'm going to say, if you're going to do that, then just make sure you censor the people out, unless they actually specifically agree to be on the video and allow you to do that. But with that being said, I would just tread lightly because you could be breaking TOS on Uber or Lyft when it comes to revealing personal identities. So just make sure you do censor those people out.
That's a good question, Connie. If you register your dash cam with Uber, then Uber or Lyft will notify the passenger that they are going to be recorded while they're ordering a trip. So if they're against it, they don't order it, they'll skip it, they'll skip your car and go to the next one. So if you register it with Uber, they will notify the passenger while they're ordering, saying that they're going to be recorded in this specific driver's car. And if they don't want
Now,
it, they can order
have you
another.
have you had any problems with passenger actually not
No.
wanting to be recorded?
I
I've
don't
only had
drive
it
drunk
one.
hours as much. I don't drive drunk hours as much. No, I've never had an issue. I only
Yep.
had the camera for like a year, so I didn't have it. I have never had an issue. I have the stickers
Yeah,
outside the car. They know what they're getting into. So, and it's registered with Uber, so they know they're getting the notification, hopefully from Uber, that this guy is going to record you. And I've never had an issue. No.
yeah, same here. I think the one person said something, but like they were joking around,
Yeah.
and you could tell they were like pulling a joke. And then a little after, they're like, "No, that's actually a really smart thing to have because safety and all that." And more people are actually liking it than not liking it, at least in my case, and I'm sure
Yeah.
probably your case and other people's. So uh,
Yeah.
that's the one thing I get all the time, like when it comes to dash cameras, is like, oh well, aren't the passengers gonna? No, the passengers aren't going to be, and it's your car, it's your safety. Screw the passengers at that point. If they have a
Passengers.
problem with it, that's their problem, and you just cancel the ride. Why? Because
Yeah.
it's unsafe at that point. If they don't like the fact that there's a safety device recording audio and video,
Exactly.
well,
Exactly.
then you don't want them in your car.
Exactly. There's something shady going on, and they're about to attempt something, and they know they're getting recorded. I go, yeah. I mean, look, dash cams are great, and
Mhm.
it's a deterrent, and and that's the one I use, and this is what I recommend. To each on their own. You can do whatever you want with it, but uh, that's it. Display ride is what we recommend, and Chris has one. I have one. I think for what it costs, Chris, I think for my safety, I think it's like
Yeah.
it's not even
Well,
a
not
happy
only
meal.
that, if you use RSG20 at checkout or for the code when you're on the page, you get 20% off. So instead of $25 a month, it's 20 bucks a month.
Yeah.
And that one, that's tax deductible. Two, it's for all the cloud storage, the data, the transfer to the cloud and all that. Plus it also covers the cost of the dash camera. So there's a lot of good perks when it comes to the display ride camera, and we've talked about it several times already.
Yeah, I mean, I am in huge favor of dash cams, and this company is about to announce something for delivery drivers now, which I think is going to be fantastic.
Asking Abdul when, because I want to announce it.
I know, I think it's going to be amazing, but we can't talk about it yet. But you guys can guess what it is probably. So, anyway, yeah, but that's another topic. And then, did we give him the money, or we're giving him more money now? Are we? No?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, next segment. We got another segment, and then after that, we'll do the money. So,
all right.
With that being said, let's talk about the next thing. This is a deactivation story that is bewilderingly crazy. So Sergio, I don't know if do you want me to read it or you read it or what?
You can read it if you want, because okay, we had one couple of weeks ago, if anybody can remember, a crazy okay, these are like getting wild now, and I'm like hesitant to put them up, but then I talk to the drivers in person, like on a phone call, not just email back and forth, because I want to hear their voice and I want them to tell me the story, right? And I have to vet these before I put them up, and because these will become national stories, I promise all of you that, because the last one is becoming a national story any day now, and this will definitely become a national story. And Chris, all yours, buddy. Go ahead.
All right. So this is a Massachusetts driver. Last month I was deactivated because a rider alleged I was under the influence of alcohol. The boilerplate from Uber response was that they get back to me in 48 hours after their so-called investigation. I went off on them, and the support conversation is attached. Furthermore, I went on to talk about how in Massachusetts, small claims can award up to $7,500, and I like easy money. Who doesn't like easy money?
Exactly.
I practically had to force the chat to tell the reason why I was being deactivated. I wouldn't give it up. Anyways, as soon as I got deactivated, I immediately went to the emergency room. I explained them the situation, requested a blood test. Of course, within an hour, the results came back negative. I uploaded a doctor's report back to Uber support and was reactivated within a few hours. At the same time, I further requested compensation and an apology. Moreover, I pointed out that Uber, besides deactivating me why they failed to contact the police, I was under the influence. Between you and me, the police were not thrilled. I had called them to come and conduct a sobriety test, which they didn't do upon request. Well, they recommended they go to the emergency room. Interesting. And there's actually reasons behind that. But in this country, we have a saying innocent until proven guilty, but it seems like it does not apply to the rideshare world. It is more like guilty until I can prove myself innocent. I did that. And if I hadn't, I believe the deactivation would be final. Thanks for your help and time. And then the next screenshot right here is the email saying we received your feedback. We received feedback that you appeared to be under the influence during a recent trip. We're going to do our 48-hour test, which is basically kick you off the platform for it. And then, after the 48 hours is done, they basically allow you back on. And then the second one is you should have received a message letting you know the account is active. You're all set to go back on the road. And this was afterwards. As a courtesy for your patience, we deposited a courtesy payment of $100 in your account. So good for them for that. Still sucks though that you're off, for those few hours, but at least he was compensated for that time when it came to it. And then who knows what the blood test showed. Now, he did show us he did send that, but we didn't put it up only because that is health information. But he did send us the blood alcohol test and obviously came back negative. So he did send that over to Uber. And that was what was going on here. So yeah, this is a real problem.
Yeah, this guy was off for 48 hours, right? Let's say he's a full-time driver, he could have made a couple $100 each day. I'm not going 500-600, but a couple $100 each day. He lost $400 worth of income. Uber sends him $100 because they know this guy's probably going to sue anyway. And here's the problem. The problem is not this. The problem is why and how fast drivers get deactivated. And what he says is true, Chris. If this guy did not go get a blood test, this guy would be deactivated. I have no doubt in my mind that he would be deactivated.
I don't know. I think usually those ones you get back on the platform within 48 hours. especially if
on
you,
driver drunk driver accusation by the
yeah,
passenger.
if I mean, well, first off, it's a claim. Secondly, if you're giving your feedback, which you should be making a report during that time frame to begin with, so it's on record. The biggest thing is that, okay, how many other rides did you give that particular day already? I mean, how like that to me is the first red flag that appears to be off, because if you were out, let's say, driving 4 hours already, how come no other person was saying the same exact thing?
Um,
All these things, like there's a real problem when it comes to that. So I know quite a few drivers who have been temporarily deactivated because of that. And again, like something like that could have a real problem on their hands
yeah.
if they actually did. So usually those are the same thing. Like if a passenger reports you for being tired, which that happened to me, and I'm like, you're kidding me, right? So I just went on Lyft. This was on Uber, and I went on Lyft the rest of the night. And luckily, it was busy. I made money that night. But yeah, I mean, it happens. It's unfortunate. It's a pain in the ass for sure.
I mean, I get the safety aspect as far as Uber is concerned, right? They don't want anybody, in case the guy's drunk. I mean, they don't want a drunk driver on the road, right? Driving people around, because the trouble is going to be worse later on. But the quick trigger that they have with all these deactivations, right, is, to me, it's
Yeah.
like too much, just too much, And yeah, suspend the guy. Okay, I get it. And it's, I mean, I don't want to guess or assume that anything else. Luckily, he was put back on for 48 hours, but he lost 2 days worth of income, and he had to go exactly what he said. He had to go prove his innocence. That's what he did.
Hmm.
He went and got a blood test. I was like, man, that guy's smart. I didn't even know. I I Now you guys know, if you get into a situation like that. In most cases, Uber will not tell you why you were deactivated or suspended anyway, because they go privacy, privacy of the passenger. And in his case, he figured it out that it was that somebody told him, and hey, he has a chat support anyway, but we didn't show it. And then he goes, oh shit, I have to go get a blood test. And he went and got a blood test, and he proved himself innocent. So there you go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Somebody put, it's about service animals. We did talk about that, a while ago. I think we put a clip out on that too. When it comes to service animals and service animals that clearly are not real service animals, when it comes down to it. So there's certain questions that you can ask. If you want to go back, you could probably just type in, into YouTube, go service animal rideshare guy or show me the money club or something like that, and it should pop up. Or email Sergio or myself, and we can try to get you the link for that video so you can see it.
This is a great comment. The passenger should be notified if it's a false allegation. Obviously, in this case, it was false. They will be charged, and they will have to pay for the time and drivers out of work, and they should also get thrown off the platform, because
I like that idea.
I love that idea. And they should get thrown off the platform, because if they
Yep.
do it to one driver, I'll bet you they have done it to many other drivers. So the passenger should be booted off. Go away. Go get a cab, get a
100%.
bus, do something else. I love that idea. You know what? I'm gonna actually remember that and send it to Uber. So that's a great idea.
Whale. Sorry if I butchered your name. Yeah, we talked about the Uber tips issue earlier in the show.
Yeah. And somebody asked if $1 a
But
mile is a good
you should
ride.
be able to go back and on the replay. If you can't
Yeah.
get the replay on Facebook, then just head over to the Rideshare Guys YouTube page, and you'll be able to watch the replay there.
Yeah, you can watch it. And somebody asked, is $1 a mile good? Depends. Okay, depends on what city you're in. If you're in LA, $1 a mile is not good, because 3 miles could take 40 minutes. You cannot just look at $1 a mile. You have to, we should do a few more sessions about this, Chris. We did it at the start. We haven't done it since. We should do like some educational stuff going forward again. $1 a mile is great. Like, hopefully, if your car is, if you know your cost per mile, and it's maybe 30 cents a mile, yeah, $1 a mile is profitable. But if you're
Yeah,
doing $1
I
a
think
mile,
I think the biggest thing that you need to do is figure out your car costs. Figure out
yeah,
your costs to run your vehicle, and anything really over that, with the addition of what your cost is, because you don't want to say, "Oh, my car cost is 45 cents or something per mile," and then here comes a 50-cent per mile request,
No,
because
I
at
mean,
that point you're only covering the cost that's there
look,
versus paying for you.
Chris, ultimately 65.5 cent IRS deduction. You're going to take that, right? $1 a mile leaves you with 35-cent profit. Ultimately, hopefully your costs are lower than the IRS deduction, which most cars are. Hopefully you're driving a 5, 6, 7-year-old beater, and then with a lot of miles depreciation out of it, then your cost is lower. Okay, great. $1 a mile though is not just what you should look at. As in LA, I could literally go 3 miles in half an hour, in 30 minutes. So okay, I went 3 miles in 30 minutes and I got $5 for it. Well, what good is that? So that shouldn't be the only metric you should look at. Whoever asked that question, you should look at many different metrics while you're thinking in those 10 seconds, 8 seconds that you have, if this is a profitable trip for you or not. So but that's the question. That's quickly answering that question. There you go. So.
All right. Well, let's do our giveaway, our next giveaway, and that is $25 for SMTM #SMTMC into the chat.
Let's go.
And let's talk about. Hold on.
Did you close the windows again?
Last week, Jeff on. When it came to sharing his vehicle and some of the things there. So this is a picture of his vehicle. I got the book. So Jeff, if you're in the chat, thanks. I read the inscription as well too, because he sent me a signed copy, which was awesome.
Yes, who else got the book today?
Like half. Dara?
Yes.
Awesome.
Are you here, Jeff?
I don't know. But he's got to. I saw him earlier, so
he got it.
I don't know if he's still on.
He got it today. Okay, Jeff is becoming super famous now, Chris. They had like 3 TV stations.
Oh, there he is.
Sunshine Man. So he had like 3 interviews with TV stations. He's not even gonna remember us, by the way. He's forgetting his so Show Me the Money family already. Already. I'm like, wow. No, Jeff.
Not yet, because he's here. So,
okay. This is inside Jeff's little minivan.
Yeah, we were gonna have him in the minivan, but there was, if you watched last week and you saw, there was a little bit of issue there when it came to the internet connection, stuff like that. So unfortunately, we weren't able to get a good view of the van. But this is a nice little but. We do have the video for you, because I told him afterwards to send us a video, and we'll play it this week. So we're gonna play this video real quick of his car. Which I went through it earlier, and I'm like, holy crap. So enjoy this.
Hi, everyone. This is Jeff, the Sunshine Man from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I owe you a little tour of my car. This is the back view of the car. And what you see is about 38 countries represented with bills all over. We have Lily, the mannequin, who is right up front there. And she is from Kansas, a gift from my passenger. And we also have a Super Bowl hanging there. And I'm going to give you a closer look of the car. Bear with me as far as taking pictures of this video. It is not my specialty. I just went through 3 consecutive TV interviews here, which is pretty insane. So here, if someone gets in the car, this is the first thing that they see. Right in front of them is a sign saying that you need to put a belt and a smile on in the car. Below that, I have postings on underage drivers, waiting time, and I have first 4 of the bills that I have in the car from Singapore, Colombia, Haiti, and Malaysia. I also have brochures for the tourists I have in the car over here. This is a close-up of Lily. Jen Kelly from Kansas signed it. She has amazing hair, much nicer than mine, a lot more than mine also. Up front, let's take a quick picture of the Super Bowl ring from the Kansas City Chiefs. The woman was incredible when she let me put this on my finger. Up front here, we have some bills. We have Gandhi on the right, the Marcoses from the Philippines. We have Miramar on the bottom there, which used to be Burma, and from the Dominican Republic, we have on the top up here. We have Jamaica up front over there. We also have the South Sudan right here, And we also have Nelson Mandela from South Africa. Over here we have a theme in my car: if you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. And my 10,000th rider, who got a nice gift certificate for celebrating that in January. Over here, I would love to go through it all and tell you which is which, but I'll just tell you it's Venezuela, Romania, Poland, Trinidad, Ethiopia, the country of Georgia, Mao from China, Chile, and every one of these will say thank you in their country. So I did that so people could see how different it was from different countries. And this over here is the other side. We have Mexico, we have Brazil, we have Scotland, we have Albania in the green there on the bottom. Up on top is the Bahamas, the small one, and the big one there that says Jared Jeff, which I love because I'm Jeff. So I'm almost thank you in the country of Senegal. On the bottom is Moldova.
A lot
and
of bills in there, huh?
A lot of bills,
is
bro.
Nicaragua.
I don't know, bro.
So
I don't know how this guy
those are
gets
my
tips
bills
so
there,
much, bro.
but there is
If I
more.
had this in my
Up
car
on
in LA,
top, right
I would
where
be
I am
deactivated.
sitting, when you look up, it's Italy.
You gotta be
on
nice to your
top, and we
passengers,
have
that's why.
Honduras.
I know.
Then we have the Euro bill from Europe, which technically isn't a country, but I'm only one county. On the bottom is Peru, and over here is Avita from Argentina, and the country of Bulgaria. The Canada, we have
How long is
Thailand
this
right
video,
over
bro?
here, and we have another one from Romania.
How long is this video?
Magnificent bill. The Soviet
almost
Union
over.
is down here,
Okay.
and over here we
think this
have
is the last little
Cuba
bit.
and Guatemala. So you have just seen a little tour of my car, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.
And that in the middle is his book, Driving on the Sunny Side with 10,000 Strangers. Jeff has a book out. It's on Amazon. It's on Barnes & Noble, on all the major online resellers, as well as Kindle, as well as all that stuff. He sent me a book. He sent Chris a book. He sent Dara Khosrowshahi a book, which with my contacts was at Uber today. So, Jeff, if you do hear from Dara, make sure he comes on Show Me the Money Club. You hear what I'm saying, Jeff? Okay.
Yeah.
I sent your book to Dara, so you owe me one. Anyway, yeah, so that's our Jeff Sunshine Man in Myrtle Beach,
Well,
South
now,
Carolina.
now if you want a 45% tip rate, you know what you got to do. You got to make it a fun ride, and
That's
you
right.
got to do something that's rightfully unique compared to what other people are doing. So he's lucky because where his area is, you're going to get a lot of tourists that are coming in from all over the world, clearly, and very interesting. So Jeff, thank you for sending that video and sharing your ride with us. So yes, other people out there, if you want a 45% tip rate, maybe take a couple of pages out of his playbook, and maybe you'll be able to increase your tips a little bit more.
Yep. And so, yeah, but Jeff is Jeff. Jeff is always going to be our Jeff, regardless of how famous he becomes and goes to Hollywood and does the movie and all that stuff. But you know, that's it. So if I had all this shit in my car, Chris, I would get deactivated in LA with the attitudes people have in LA. Okay.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, bro. So this was sent to me by another driver in the Inland Empire part of LA. Okay. Now this guy has two Tesla Model 3s. This is one of his Tesla Model 3s. In the middle, he has a Z Flip. On one side is Uber, on the other side is Lyft. He has a tablet that he put on the console, and obviously he has his big Tesla screen, right? I love this setup. So I'm like, he has FSD also, full self-driving. And you know, he drives full time and he's having a good time, man. And he's looking really sharp doing it. And I thought the setup was great. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think this is fantastic. Really.
Yeah, it's nice. The only thing though that would kind of be difficult would be
I know what's coming.
having to go through this having to go through the steering wheel to accept or deny trips, or
Yes.
you know, going offline on the one versus the other.
Yes.
But I like that. That's what I use my iPad for. I have both apps set up where you put it on the side, you have both, and you can run Uber and Lyft right there.
Yeah. And so, and then the next one, this is what he has inside the car. A little classier than Jeff. And this is what he has on the back seat, right? So you know, he has his for tips, he has his Cash App, Venmo, and
And Zelle.
Zella app QR codes. You know, and he has his number, which we blocked, obviously. Get your next, and he has 2 Teslas, and this looks like mighty nice to me, I think. And then in the middle, obviously, you know, both the back of the driver and the passenger front seats have this. I think this is brilliant, don't you? I think it's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think,
So,
I mean, having the tip sticker there is nice. And then I'm not sure what's underneath, but I'm assuming it's probably, you know, something to do with maybe the rules or, you know, some fun anecdotes or something. I'm not sure.
yeah.
But yeah, it's good. And what I like about it is it's nice, clean and sleek. So this is more my style. Sorry, Jeff. But this is more my style where it's a little more sleek. It's a little more, got that cleaner look to it. Although I do like, I mean, the bills are cool. That's, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cool. But
Defenestrator, email me that question. I'll send you the answer for that question. Yeah, this is his cars, and I thought the setup, especially in the front, was great. It looks like, I told him, I go, it looks like the space shuttle, bro. And these are his
I like the setup, and I like the fact that he's using a tablet for running both apps. Because like I said, I do that too, and I think to me that's so much easier than the phone or something. So but the problem is it's right in the place of the steering wheel, so it's like you got to go around or through or something. So that could be a little unsafe there.
Yeah, I asked him that question, and then he says initially it was like for a couple of days it was tough, but then he's not really used to it now. I'm like, okay. And
but what happens if you're in full self-driving mode and something comes on and the wheel is about to turn and you stick your hand in there and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, can't do it.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And so yeah, these are the 2 Teslas he does rideshare with, and one is, I think, is a dual motor, the black and white one. But you know, full-time rideshare driver, man. And the Inland Empire is like maybe 50-60 miles east of me, so I'm more west than him, and I'm pretty sure I'll meet him one day in LA. So yeah, I thought I would show that, you know, I like that setup. So yeah.
All right, we got another story with I saw somebody in the chat earlier talk about the names on where are we with the names on Uber and Lyft. Don't worry, we're getting there right now.
Yeah, we're getting there, we're getting the money. Hold on. This is actually Sean Chelik, who had the super chat, my Armenian buddy. Parev, Sergio Parev in Armenian means hello, so if you guys see me, say Parev, please. Apparently you can have no name listed on Uber. I got a ping to pick up someone and couldn't find the name anywhere. I picked him up, and since he was showing up on the GPS, I'm like, okay. I asked him how he registered without a name. He said he doesn't remember. he said he's been using this account without a name for a while and gets the same question asked from every driver. Well, sir, no name, sir. Maybe it is time you put your name. How about that? That's why you're getting asked this question, so you won't do that any longer. I don't understand how Uber's system doesn't pick up something so simple, such as a name not being listed. I'm like, I don't know how. I've never seen this before, but there's the trip. There's the ping screen. It says 1 seat. Obviously, he's ordering, what do you call that? Uber X share, whatever the heck it is. I go, how can you even do that?
Go back to pool.
And he goes, I am attaching screenshots. You can use it for SMTMC. There you go, Sean. We're using it on SMTMC. Have you ever seen this before with no name whatsoever at all?
I haven't, no. Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many fake names and stuff like that, but not one without a name. I mean, the only way I could think you could do that is by putting in spaces. That's the only, so technically there's a name there. It's just a space. So I mean, I'm saying how you get that, because he said how he asked, and he's like, I don't remember. It's probably because you put in like 3 spaces or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't.
And I'm sure he probably does remember. And then, and then the last thing we've got for you today.
Okay, we talked about this last week. We talked about this last week, Chris. Okay, this is a good tip for everyone. We talked about the beacon, Uber beacon, and we talked about placards, and we talked about, stickers. We talked about how illegal it is to have Uber, Lyft sticker on top of each other on the right side of your window, literally covering it, and then the 2 airport placards, this is LAX placard, on the bottom. I see it on so many cars. Clearly, LAX tells you, and most airports will tell you, that you cannot drive an Uber passenger with all those 4 covering your right part of your front windshield. You cannot. It's a big ticket. It's probably not enforced. So knowing that, and I don't want to peel it off, peel it on, stick it off, and ask for more stickers, because over time stickers lose their, stickiness, I guess. So I go, I don't want to put this thing up anyway. So I went to Kinko's or FedEx, now FedEx Kinko's. I had a sticker and my Lyft placard and Uber, and I put it in the laminating machine, 8.5 by 11, laminated it, boom, clean. They're always in my glove box. If I'm going to go LAX, pick somebody up or drop somebody off, I stick it on the passenger side, just like you would do with the sticker and a placard. And it stays there upright until I drop off. I take it off, put it back in the glove box, and then I'm gone. So clean, no fuss, no muss, cheap, $5 it cost me to do this. Please do this. Then you don't have to go to the Uber or call Lyft or whatever for new stickers. You don't need it. This is it right here. One shot, and boom, there you go.
Yeah, and it's similar to what I did. Like I said, I did with the plexiglass. So I just did a sheet of plexiglass that I got from Home Depot, and I just put the stickers on. We don't have to have the authorized TNC vehicle stickers at Buffalo Airport or Niagara Falls. So all I have is just 2 stickers on that I put one on top of the other. Same thing. You just friction fit it right in there. Only when I'm driving, take it off when I'm not, and good to go.
Yep. And this is cheap, like $5 for both of them. I think I paid. I've had this for years. I mean, this is not new. I figured, I was so much meddling with, like, I'm driving an Uber passenger. I have the Uber sticker on. Then I go pick up a Lyft passenger. I have to take the Uber sticker off, put the Lyft sticker back on. I'm like, bro, this is too much. So I thought about it one day, had a little aha moment, and then I go, this is it. This is what I do. And I'm like, hey, let's go. And
yeah, and it's so much easier to do that too, because then when you're not driving or anything like that, you don't have to have it on. You don't have to worry about people looking at your car and saying, "Oh, is that my Uber?" And you're not actually driving at that point. So it's just good all around. So yeah, if you have the ability to do something like that, definitely do it. It's so nice to have something like that. Whether you do something like what I did with the plexiglass, or if you go to Kinko's and get it laminated. Either way, they're both going to be protected. They're both going to be real easy to get in and out, and you'll be good to go from there.
I have it on. Like I said, I have it on when I have an Uber passenger on or a Lyft passenger on. I put them on. I put them on when I'm doing rideshare, not just on LAX, sir. The other thing is, do you have all 4 on if you're doing multi-apping? Because if you're doing that, that's super illegal. It's in itself. So, but it's convenient. It's clean. I don't have to mess with it. That's it.
All right. Well, let's give away the last bit of Sergio's money, because his wheelhouse is drying up if you didn't get anything from Lyft.
Nope.
So give me one second.
Dried up. Didn't get shit. Okay. Everybody put SMTMC in, I'm sure. Let's see.
Well, if you put it in now, too bad. You lost. So, Jeff Smith, congratulations. $25.
25. Email me, Sergio@rideshareguy.com. You shall receive your money. There we go. We're done.
All right. So you got anything going on, Serge, to talk about?
No. Excited. Looking for next week. It's Halloween next week, but we're still gonna do it. Our show. We have Alex Kantrowitz on next week, the #1 podcaster in the nation, and I've been wanting to talk to him. He talks to all the CEOs. He's talked to Apple CEO.
The #1 podcast of what, though?
He in that genre, talking to CEOs and important people, kind of a thing. Yeah. No, not like Joe Rogan. No, obviously.
I was gonna say, I think Rogan takes that spot.
Yeah,
as
no,
the
he
top.
didn't. No, but in that genre, like talking to CEOs, and he was on CNBC for a long time. He may still be on CNBC. But he has a finance background, obviously. But it's fascinating that he talks to all the CEOs, and we talk to a lot of CEOs, like we did to Rebecca. Thank you for the 25. You will be getting the email of your winner, Richard. Tom. Okay, so the winners are Tom Finton, which was 25. Jeff Smith is the next 25. And I got the first one for, okay, it's all set. We can go now. So next week, yeah, I have that. That's it, bro. And be safe on Halloween.
Well, don't forget, are we dressing up next week? I don't know.
Hey,
maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. You'll have to stick around and find out. But with that being said, don't forget tomorrow is Money Hungry with Kim and Zach. If you want to join the Discord, RSG has a Discord. Link is going to be in the description. You can check that out. We also want to thank today's sponsor, Giggle. So if you need some money, check out Giggle. Link is going to be in the description. And also, I have my pizza, my little pizza by the slice. But the difference was I didn't do it in Buffalo because family was in Vermont. So we went to a place in Vermont, tried it out, checked it out, and highlighted around Stowe, Vermont. So if you want to check it out, go over to my channel and check it out. And anything else then?
Nobody. See you next week.
All set. All right. We'll see you next week. Be safe, be smart, and go out there and make that money. And we'll see you guys next week.